Hey guys, so today I'm just gonna talk to you guys about how to begin cosplaying. So if you have never cosplayed before, this might be a little hard, but don't be discouraged. It's not that hard. It's just very time consuming, and you have to look and see what kind of costume you might want to do in the future. So let's think about what we can talk about here. Find a like for me, I would say find a costume that fits you. For me, I always have been into Harley Quinn and Raven, so they kind of like fit me pretty good. But like when I first started, I didn't really do Harley Quinn or Raven. That I just kind of basically just grew into it as I got more and more advanced into cosplay. But actually my first cosplays were actually what were they? Black Widow was one of my first ones. My Arkham Knight Harley, she was actually one of my first ones too, but she came a little bit later, which was one of my embarrassing ones. I don't like to talk about it because the costume at the time, I didn't know how to make a actual skirt, so that one was kind of like weird and it didn't really fit me that great. But and the makeup, I can go on and on about it, but that would be another vlog. But what else is there? Myra Jade from Star Wars. She was one of my first ones. I used her with one of my what was it? Star Wars Celebration was, because I went to 2 cons before I started cosplaying. I went to one and I went to the Olympics Expo, and my very first year I actually went to my first con, but I didn't really cosplay that year because I was just starting out, and the people I were with didn't really want me to cosplay. They were relieved that it wasn't for me, but I proved them wrong. Anyways, so when you want to get started with cosplay, you want to find a costume that you like. So for me, I would say say if you have like a favorite like cartoon, or you're into the Batman anime series, Teen Titans, or even video games, and you like a character from there, you might want to pick a character from there. So as you go further into it, I would say just keep looking at the pictures. You can also look for pictures on the web pages and websites. Pinterest is one of the favorites, because I actually like going on Pinterest to look for like references. Like I looked for like Bombshell Raven references when for this recent ones that I've done. Oh my goodness, I've done so many, but I would say like when I did Arkham Knight, not Arkham Knight, Injustice 2 Harley, I actually went on the video game and I watched the story modes just to get into character for her, and I would look at the costume, and at the time that was actually not true. At the time when I actually started doing Injustice 2 Harley, it was more like there was only one like trailer for her, so I actually only was able to like find maybe like 1 or 2 pictures to work with. So I actually really had to kind of just study her costume, and so far, I did really good with it. I actually was pretty proud of how Injustice 2 Harley came out, and that was with very few references, but it came out. But yeah, just finding a costume that actually fits you and you feel comfortable in is the most important thing ever, because if you don't feel comfortable in it, you're not gonna be happy in it. I truly believe that, because there are times when you want to be a certain character, but like you decide on another character, but you're just like, I'm gonna do it just because. But in the long run, if you don't feel comfortable, just pick another one and just do that one. Also too, what I find very, like for me, I like to pick strong characters and I like to pick villains. And the reason I pick villains is because I like to feel like the strong one, the more powerful one, and that's okay too. If you want to be like the more goody or the more happy one, or you want to be like really Disney, like you want to be like a princess and you want to be like more really happy, then pick something like that. Pick something that goes with your personality and fits you. Like for me, that's what works. And for somebody else, you might want to be a Disney character, and that might work for you guys too. Or video games, or evil villains, whatever fits you. Also too, I have to say, don't go extreme on your first cosplay. If you go extreme in your first cosplay, you might fail. Well, no. No, you're not gonna fail, but you're gonna get overwhelmed. I mean, you're gonna want to fit in with the other cosplayers, and that comes in time. I mean, I didn't really fit in with the other cosplayers until I got into a cosplay group. I would say like a year ago. I was in my cosplay group for like a year and a half, I would say. And that's when I started to feel more like I was connected with the cosplay community. But I guess I was a little bit more in, maybe a little bit more before the cosplay group. But I would say that it took me a while to get into the group, cosplay group, and the cosplay community. It takes a while. I mean, that's why if you're starting out with the cosplay community and you want to take photos, then you just want to take photos. But also realize that there's a lot more to taking photos and taking pictures. There's a lot goes on in those cons. Like for me, I like to go inside the cons as well. I'm very bad with buying stuff. I'm very bad in the merchandise area. I buy too many pops, too many statues. As you can see in the back right here, I'm such a nerd when it comes to collectibles. Harley, Teen Titans, anything DC, watch out. I'm not good with that. but yeah, I would say don't worry much about your first cosplay being perfect. I mean, don't go over the extremes. I would say like make some stuff if you know how to make some stuff. Like at first I never knew how to make anything. I made my first Black Widow belt. I wish I could show you, but I don't know where it is. But my first Black Widow belt was actually little wood circles, and I spray painted them, and I used elastic. If I was to do my Black Widow now, I probably would use like chains and stuff, and probably not use the little circle woods. But like we use little things, and we also too, I think that like spending less money, trying to go to the dollar store, going to Michael's, and trying to see what you can get for cheaper before you actually go to the actual big stores. Because if you want to like make your own costume, it does get pricey, and I'm not gonna lie, fabric is expensive. I do spend a lot of money on fabric. Sometimes by the time I leave, I spend over like 80 or 90 bucks on fabric, and it's bad. But if you want a costume a certain way, this is gonna happen. And I do spend a lot of money. And another place, if you want to try to stay in a budget and you want to try to get cheaper fabric, there's always that choice of going to the fashion district. The fashion district is always kind of a little bit cheaper because they have more fabric that's kind of like, I don't know, like outlet fabric. I don't know. I don't even think that's even the right word. But they have more fabric in bulk, so I guess they can go down on their prices a little bit, but not too much. Like if you're gonna get like leather down there, because I always go and buy leather when I go leather when I go into the fabric district, because that's where I actually bought my Injustice 2 fabric, my Injustice 2 Injustice 2 leather I bought there. I also bought my my CW Killer Frost leather was from there. And with the ones I bought, I actually, the Killer Frost fabric, with leather, I actually did spend like $60 on it, but I did end up buying more leather than I thought. But I felt like if I didn't buy like more leather than I thought, I think I bought like four yards at the time, because it was a long trench coat. So I thought, I don't want to run out out of the leather fabric, so I got more than I thought I needed. But you know, what I've realized also too is that even though you have a lot of like fabric, don't worry about don't worry about not using it, because I always find something to use it for. So even if it's just like making little cuffs or making little like little headbands or something, there's always something to use it for. Like my fabric never goes to waste. I always find something, and it feels like it goes to waste because I have so much of it, but I know, like, and eventually I'm gonna use it. Like I thought one time I was buying these rings for my Raven, and I bought it was too big. They were too big, and I thought I was not gonna use them. I ended up using those rings for one of my Black Lantern Ravens, which I used little foam ones. I wish I had the video to still show you guys, but I might, if I can find it, I can maybe show you some of the steps I did. I didn't show everything, but I still might have some of the stuff that I had videoed. But yeah, but also too, I have to say this a lot. Don't worry about your costume being perfect. And that's gonna come in time. You're gonna feel like your costume isn't good enough for the community. Don't be. Cosplay is supposed to be fun. Cosplay is supposed to be like this great experience, going among other people, and it's basically just so much fun. I have met so many friends at cosplay community. I have met so many friends at cons, and they are the sweetest people ever. And I don't want you to think that there's nothing wrong with them. All I want to say is that when you go to a con, just be yourself. Don't be anything. Don't be something that you're not. If you're trying to be somebody else when you're going into that community, it's not a good thing. Try to be yourself. And if you feel like you're getting into your character, just go with it. Like, if you're feeling like, okay, I'm feeling like Raven right now, just go with it. Have fun with it. Like, people will want to take pictures with you. People are going to be excited to see you. They're like, oh, that girl's really getting into her character. Yeah, so enjoy it. Enjoy that time. And like, if you're a character that a little kid recognizes, they're gonna want to come up to you and take your picture. Most definitely, those are the best moments ever. Is when the little kids come up to you, as when you're like a Raven, or you're like, let's see what else, Harley, and they recognize you. That's the best. Like, cause the kids are amazing. They'll come up to you, they'll hug you, they're so excited, and that's the one thing I really love, is being around the friends, but also taking pictures with the kids. Because the kids are just the cutest little things. And sometimes we have kids that are like little ravens, little Harleys, little princesses. The little kids, they also cosplay, and they're having an awesome time with it too. So when you go into cosplay, just enjoy yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. And if you want to take pictures with people, take pictures. If you don't want to take pictures, don't worry about it. Just be yourself. Bye.